Welcome. As the title implies, I'll go over the differences between the two high schools that I attended. This will be a bit more of a personal video outlining my own experiences, but also trying to be a bit more educational as well. So I'll go over my two schools, Mazenod College and Elizabeth Blackburn School of Sciences University High School. I'll briefly highlight both of them and describe which one I think was better in that set category. Education. So let's start with Mazenod. Mazenod is a year 7 to 12 high school, but I only went for year 7 to 10. They taught in classroom environments of up to 25, 28 students. The culture there had a heavy emphasis on accountability. If a student didn't do his homework, he would receive a detention. It also provided a wide variety of subjects compared to EBIS. We had weekly sports against other Catholic schools and even allowed students to do VCAL if they didn't want to do VCE. As of 2019, the ranking for Mazenod was 90. EBIS, on the other hand, was a year 11 to 12 selective science program affiliated with Monash University and Bio 21. An entrance exam was required for this. It only has a set number of subjects that you can do at the school. It had a heavy emphasis on STEM, so the subjects provided were specialist math, mathematical methods, physics, chemistry, biology, and extended investigation. The rest of the subjects were held in the normal schools. EBIS educates in quite a different and unique environment. For majority of the subjects, they're taught in lecture halls, which you can see here. The VCE ranking for EBIS is not available since it is a program and not its own school, but the ranking for University High School was 76 as of 2019. But if we were solely to go off the EBIS result, we'd be in the top 50 schools in Victoria. But note that EBIS cohort sizes range from 40 to 90, which is about half of what the normal top 50 schools, because most schools have at least 150 students doing at any given year. So in terms of education, if you want more variety, staying at a semi-private Catholic school or even a grammar school would be better. But if you want to specialize in STEM and are willing to be more self-sufficient in the university style of teaching, then EBIS is your best choice. Mazenod has a lot of buildings. It has one road and one court separating the campus. Some buildings are new and modern, but the main ones are still kind of old, but they have been renovated. There's also a dedicated building for different fields. One for arts, metalwork, DIY, one for music and IT, rooms for almost every sports team, a senior building, 2 ovals and 2 gyms, the Shaman Hall and the Provence Center, which has a chess room, a table tennis room, and large enough to accommodate the whole school to have assembly. The school also has the church, which has daily mass before class, each and every day. Each year level is assigned a different day, and it is generally compulsory, but it depends on your coordinator. The college is also located in the southeast suburbs, adjacent to Monash Freeway and close by to Monash University. EBIS, on the other hand, has only one dedicated building for its students. It can accommodate up to 120 to 180 students. Each year level is given its own floors, so we only have 2 because it's only for VC. The building is great, provides students with their own dedicated science lab, 2 lecture theatres, 4 classrooms, a small balcony, hot water / mini kitchen area, periodic table lockers, open spaces to study, and a staff room. Once again, if you want a new facility and eager to learn a STEM, EBIS is the way to go. But if you already go to a grammar school or a school with more facilities / subjects, you're better off staying at your old school because it might be a downgrade. Mazenod's environment is all boys, Catholic, weekly / daily mass, assemblies, and morning homerooms. In my opinion, I found Mazenod to be quite restricting. It had strict policies for hair and uniform. The long hair I have now would probably result in detentions at Mazenod. Shirt also had to be tucked in, and the correct uniform had to be worn at all times. The uniform consisted of a black and white collar scheme with blue ties. The school's location also meant that most students would just go to school and then go home. Sure, there were a couple suburbs and places to eat and watch movies and hang out, but it wasn't as good as being in the city. Not many opportunities were present to meet people from other schools, and most competitions were held in schools and mainly involved other Catholic high schools. EBIS, on the other hand, has a very self-motivated and independent environment. Oh, and also girls. We didn't have uniforms, no homerooms, and we were even permitted to leave the premise during lunch and recess to visit the city. Please note this was only available to year 12. Since the classes were held in lecture halls, it was also up to the students as to how they'll follow along. Will they write pen and paper, or will they use their notebook or laptops? Most teachers at EBIS also didn't follow up on homework, so if you fell behind, it was up to you to catch up or to organize a meeting with your teacher in your own time. We did have extra tutorial lessons for our mathematics subjects, but that was only available in year 12. There were a lot more competitions presented to EBIS, from Melbourne Maths Comp to all the science competitions. I forgot what they're called, but it was to invite like students to the summer camps for the Olympiad training to see if you were good enough to get invited. I don't know if other schools also provided that, but that was just something I thought I should mention. If you want to be spoon-fed and have a more accountability-focused environment, a grammar/Catholic school is your best bet. But if you are either independent or wanting to become independent with your academics, EBIS is your better choice. The teachers. At Mazenod, I personally had better relationships with my teachers than at EBIS for two reasons. I actually did well and wanted to do well in my school, so our communication was better. The teachers also had classrooms and classes of up to like 26, 28, which meant more attention was given to students compared to the lectures at EBIS. The teachers also provided detentions for students who misbehaved or didn't do their homework. They would also catch up with you to find out why your grades dropped if it did happen, or why you stopped attending class or didn't attend. EBIS. I think the teachers at EBIS are good. I just didn't have the best relationship with them, mainly due to the fact that I didn't really improve. Sure, I did work for most subjects, but I feel as though my specialist teacher started to dislike me in year 12, especially towards the exams, mainly because my grades kind of dropped from year 11 and I didn't really bother to improve it that much. Well, I also stopped handing in the worksheets, but that's a whole nother story. The English language teacher did try to help me out a lot more, mainly because I actively reached out to her to try and improve. Yeah, my outlook and motivation when I moved schools is a big factor as to like how my academics are. So if you're okay with guiding yourself, EBIS is definitely more of the place for you. But don't expect to get close with the teacher, especially since they have to teach a cohort of 70 to 80 students. If your current environment is already welcoming, then I wouldn't want you guys to risk the last 2 years in a new environment. Results. Please don't let my ATAR discourage you from attending EBIS. It's definitely a great program. I was one of the few people who got less than 80, as you can see by the grades that I display here. I didn't really have the greatest mindset and work ethic in regard to academics during those years. EBIS did help me to find out more of what I want to do in the future and helped me to grow a lot more, which wouldn't have happened if I stayed at my old school. From someone who literally just went to school, studied, and played League of Legends all day, to someone who interested in computer science, helping others, selling products, building brands, and turning my ideas into reality. This YouTube channel would not have come about if I didn't take that leap and move schools. This program has definitely made me a lot more happier than at Mazenod. Meeting new people, hanging around the city, learning to travel and manage your time/money really aided to improve my high school life. My final take: if you plan on taking STEM for VCE and are willing to spend your last 2 years at EBIS, try it out and see what happens. You can always go back to your old school. At least 1 or 2 students from each year level goes back each term/semester, mainly due to the subject selection and travel time. I hope that this video was insightful and provides a lot more value to you guys as to my thoughts on both the 2 schools that I attended and whether you guys should take up or try out for either EBIS or any other selective school. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.